and welcome to We the People. At the start of this month, the death of 18-year-old Anwar Ali made headlines in the Koppal district of Karnataka. He was hit by a speeding bus. The teenager lay on the road, grievously injured and bleeding. He pleaded for help, but instead of rushing him to a hospital, a crowd of bystanders rushed forward to shoot pictures and videos on their phones, perhaps even selfies. Anwar died. Doctors say had he been brought to a hospital 20 minutes earlier, he could have been saved. Yes, he was hit by a bus, but was killed by public apathy. Are we a nation of bystanders? Are we living in times of a social paradox, connected to the world, yet detached from our immediate environment? Or does the problem lie with our laws, which make it very risky to extend help? It's time for some soul searching on We the People. Now, the insensitivity on display in Karnataka is not an aberration. This week in Delhi, a 36-year-old taxi driver lost his life, Sachin Tyagi. He was burnt to death after the car that he was driving burst into flames. It suddenly caught fire. Now, his family members, who are here in the studio with us, they say that there were various curious onlookers, but no one came forward to help. मैम आप सचिन के माँ हो और थैंक यू, ये हादसा इसी हफ्ता हुआ है, फिर भी आप आए हैं स्टूडियो में, सो वी आर वेरी ग्रेटफुल. मैम बताइए उस रात हुआ क्या था?
मेरा बेटा 10 बजे के करीब उसने फ़ोन करा. मेरी बहू का नाम ममता है. ममता मेरे लिए खाना बना के रखी हो. थोड़ी देर हुई मैंने की लाली फ़ोन करिए, सचिन ना आया अभी तक. फ़ोन करा, उसका फ़ोन नहीं चला, टू 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 बोल रहा था. फिर फ़ोन करा तो बंद जा रहा, स्विच बंद गया. 12 बजे के करीब पुलिस वाले आए. पुलिस सचिन यही रहे. मैंने कहा उसकी गाड़ी का एक्सीडेंट होगा. हम उतर के उनके साथ वहाँ पे गए जहाँ पे गाड़ी में आग लगी. 10 बजे गाड़ी में आग लगी. 10 साढ़े 10 बजे बता रहे पुलिस वाले. हम जब गए वहाँ पे कुछ नहीं था. हमने कहा पुलिस वाले से मेरे बेटे को दिखा दो. कहाँ है? उन्होंने कह दिया हॉस्पिटल में भर्ती है. कर दिया हमने. अब नहीं दिखाएंगे, तुम्हें सुबह को दिखाएंगे. मेरे 2 बेटे, ये छोटा वो बड़ा, और कोई नहीं है उनके के पापा नहीं है.
और उसके 2 बच्चे हैं?
उसके 2 बच्चे हैं छोटे छोटे से सचिन के.
मैम ये जो हुआ था रेजिडेंशियल कॉलोनी में हुआ था, मतलब जो लोग वहाँ पे थे आपके शायद पड़ोसन थे या शायद सचिन को जानते थे, फिर भी आपने पूछा होगा ना किसी से कि उन्होंने मदद क्यों नहीं की?
सचिन यहाँ खोखे पे वो लेना आया, बिस्कुट बच्चों के लिए कुछ ले जाता होगा घर को, और उसमें अपनी गाड़ी में बैठा आग लगी. मैंने कहा आपने किसी ने उसे खोला नहीं? कह रहे हमें डर लग रहा था, गाड़ी में आग लगी हुई, हमने नहीं खोला.
नहीं, मगर आप लोगों को वीडियो दिखाए थे लोगों ने, वो वीडियो ले रहे थे,
वीडियो बना रहे थे, सब फोन में
वीडियो बना रहे थे. उनसे भी पूछा कि पर उन्होंने कहा आग बहुत तेज थी, इसलिए हमने ना शीशे तोड़े ना कुछ तोड़ा.
कुछ कर सकते थे? आपको लगता है कि लोग कुछ कर सकते थे अगर वो फोन पे नहीं होते?
किसी ने नहीं.
और अगर वीडियो नहीं लेते? मगर लोगों ने आपको वीडियो दिया था उसके बाद जब आप वहाँ पे पहुंचे?
सारे में सबके फोन पे सब पे दे रहे हैं वीडियो.
Shiv, I'm sorry, this is like so painful. No parent should have to perform the last rites of a child. It is just against the natural order of things. So, I mean, I can understand not rushing to help someone when they need help. I don't know, maybe you're frozen in fear or something, but taking videos, how does one explain that? And it's not like people aren't stopping. It's not as if they have to go to work or they have to go to office. They are stopping, but stopping to take a video or a picture, how do you explain that?
Actually, it's a spectacle. So the guy dying is a specimen. I mean, you got to understand the objectivity of it. So to a certain extent, they're curious but not concerned. So what we see here is what I call the consumption of violence. I mean, they consume violence, but they won't do anything. They won't intervene. Their only act will be to further the act of consumption by distributing their consumption. I think one has to understand this, that a crowd watching an accident actually has no sense of responsibility or direction or agency. They just won't react. There's a sadness to it, but there's a truth to it. In fact, the only time they might react is if a good Samaritan tries to help. Next to road rage is what I call good Samaritan rage. You'd rather interfere with the guy who's helping because you want to see the spectacle. Consuming violence is something new and we don't understand it fully.
So have we all started consuming violence? All right, but let's take a look at the other side of the story, right? In their defense, people say they hesitate to get involved because they fear subsequent police harassment or the danger of getting drawn into protracted legal hassles. But is this a veiled excuse? In March, the Supreme Court passed a landmark ruling. It introduced a Good Samaritan directive, which gives legal protection to bystanders if you help road accident victims. Now, under this new guideline, what it means is that if you volunteer to help a victim in distress, you can no longer be harassed by the authorities, by the police or the hospitals. Now, the irony is that Karnataka is the only state to have moved a Good Samaritan bill, yet Anwar died. So let's go across to Mr. B.K. Gupta. He's a former Commissioner of Police in Delhi. Mr. Gupta, so now everybody says that it's the police that's to blame, it's the police at fault. Is that the reality, or do you think the reality is darker than that?
Before the Supreme Court direction, even Delhi police had issued way back, say 7-8 years back, a circular that anybody who is bringing accident victim to the hospital, he will be treated with utmost courtesy and in a friendly manner. What is there in people's perception is still that at a very hostile atmosphere at the police station or in the court.
You're saying that's a perception, it's not the reality.
It is so much there in their mind. They still feel, no, if I help the police.
But sir, is that a perception or is that the reality?
It is perception. With this direction of the Supreme Court, people don't, they have to just even their identity and their everything can be, you need not disclose.
No, so then how do you explain why people don't help?
There is a still perception that these places, if they help these accident victims, the police might harass them or they will be they will have
so who do you blame then, sir?
They will have to the court of law.
Who would you blame?
It is the people who are to be blamed. The
Why?
people have to realize their own kith and kin, they may be lying one day as a road accident victim and nobody will come forward to help them. People have to change their attitude.
All right, just in December in Chennai, a young woman, a techie, she lost her life when she was waiting for a train at the Nungambakkam station and she was attacked. Now, if you look at the CCTV footage here, her assailant was a young, tiny guy. He wasn't really well built. He wasn't intimidating in any way, but nobody stepped forward. And perhaps it all boils down to one person. If one person steps forward, maybe somebody else will. Now, for the rest of their lives, Swati's parents are going to have to live with that thought of what if? How could things have been different? Let's speak to another parent who possibly is in the same case. We have Mr. Valerian Santos. He is Keenan Santos's father. Keenan and Ruben, two young men in their 20s, were killed in Mumbai when they were out one evening with their friends. There were girls in that group. They were killed by a group of men who were harassing these girls, and these two young boys dared to object. This happened in a crowded place at a busy hour in 2011. Mr. Santos, that night when this incident happened, nobody came forward to help, which is against the basic teaching what you taught your son.
Apart from not coming to help my son, I don't mind that part. But what eats me till today, I get sleepless nights and sometimes it's psychologically affecting me also, is when I reached the spot, there were so many people that had circled these three girls. They were alone, left alone on that footpath, just next to that restaurant where my son and his friend were attacked. And because they were rushed to hospital, these girls were alone there. Where I had to actually push my way through and go and say, that incident, that answer, when I try to get it, I never get, because I always think that there was no danger to those people then. And if, like, we are giving the excuses there about the police apathy, whatever, police harassment and all this. If that was there, then why were you standing there? You should have gone away. If you want to help somebody, you don't need any excuses. It is after all a human life. Maximum what you will get from the police, a bit of harassment. You will have to go to court and all that. Nobody is going to take you and hang you because you tried to help. All these things are excuses. Of course, I would say that improvements have to be made from the police side, improvements have to be made from the government side to protect the witnesses, to protect the informers, all that. But at the moment, even if this is not there, I have two more sons and I have told them also, do not be afraid and just go and help. Wow. And now, of course, this Supreme Court ruling also is there. So why should we be afraid? When somebody's life is going, where is humanity at that time? I have done it. I am not talking big. There are incidents where I have done it. Keenan has seen it. And we have gone forward to help.
And that's perhaps why he did what he did that night, because you set an example as a parent.
I am not a very strong man or anything, but I even till today I assure that if anything is happening, I will go in the middle.
Mr. Santos, you are one of the bravest men that we have
No, I would not
met.
call myself the bravest man. I would only say that if I do not do it, I will get sleepless nights.
But how many other people get sleepless nights? We see people lying on the road. Nobody does anything. Mr. Santos says, if you really want to do something, you will. You don't need any excuses. Let's meet somebody who is a living example of that, Mr. Ved. So this is Mr. Suraj Prakash Ved. He is a taxi driver who over the last 30 years has taken over 70 people who've been caught in road accidents to hospitals. Ved ji, thank you so much. ये जो नॉर्थ इंडिया में ना सब लोग कहते हैं कि देखो पंगा नहीं लेना है किसी से, पुलिस की प्रॉब्लम होगी, फिर हॉस्पिटल्स में आप शायद आपको बिल्स पे करना पड़ेगा, फिर कोर्ट कचहरी में भागना पड़ेगा, किसी को नहीं चाहिए ये सब. हाउ इज इट पॉसिबल? ये कैसे हो सकता है कि आपको ऐसे कोई प्रॉब्लम्स नहीं फेस हुई है जब ये पास्ट 30 इयर्स में?
मुझे इतनी खुशी होती है कि मैं जब लोगों को कहता हूँ कि मोर देन 100 विक्टिम्स, रोड एक्सीडेंट विक्टिम्स, बम ब्लास्ट विक्टिम्स टुक टू द हॉस्पिटल्स. मुझे आज तक किसी तरफ से परेशानी नहीं हुई, मुझे कोई पुलिस की तरफ से परेशानी नहीं हुई, मुझे कोई हॉस्पिटल के डॉक्टर से परेशानी नहीं हुई, क्योंकि जो मेरा काम है. और आपको बता दूं, सबसे बड़ी बात यह है, जिन लोगों को मैंने बचाया अभी तक, मेरे को कभी किसी ने फ़ोन नहीं करा, बल्कि मैं पूछता रहता हूं पुलिस वालों से कि उसका क्या हाल चाल है, बच गए हैं जिसको मैं लेके. 9 जनवरी 1998 को पुलिस हेडक्वार्टर के सामने एक बम ब्लास्ट हुआ था और मैं पुलिस हेडक्वार्टर में गया था. मिस्टर ब्रजेश कुमार गुप्ता जी मिस्टर एडिशनल सीपी क्राइम थे, इन्होंने मुझे 2000 रुपीज़ का अवार्ड दिया था. आई अप्रिशिएट टू यू, मुझे याद है. और मेरे को लोगों ने बोला कि दूसरा और बम फट जाएगा, आप मत यहाँ से गाड़ी लेके चले जाओ, दूसरा बम भी फटेगा. मगर मैंने उन लोगों की परवाह नहीं करी. मेरे को क्राइम ब्रांच वालों ने आके पूछा, मेरे को स्पेशल ब्रांच वालों ने पूछा, तो ट्रैफिक इंस्पेक्टर ने पूछा, सब ने मेरे स्टेटमेंट रिकॉर्ड करी. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. देखो, अगर हम
सर ऑन द ग्राउंड कुछ ना कोई प्रॉब्लम होगा ना.
मुझे तो मैडम जी कभी जिंदगी में प्रॉब्लम ऐसा हुआ नहीं. 26 जनवरी रिपब्लिक डे 1948 से एक सिस्टम स्टार्ट हुआ, जो ब्रेवरी बहादुर बच्चे होते हैं, उनकी कोई सुप्रीम कोर्ट की गाइडलाइन नहीं है. छोटे छोटे बच्चे हैं, 25-30 बच्चे हर साल आते हैं, उनको ब्रेवरी अवार्ड दिया जाता है. तो वो करते हैं, वो जो कुछ नहीं सोचते कि हम मर जाएंगे या कुछ होगा. तो हमें भी ऐसे ही सोचना चाहिए, जब हम किसी काम के लिए करते हैं तो हमें किसी चीज़ के लिए डरना नहीं चाहिए. और ये मेरे पास फर्स्ट एड बॉक्स होता है, चाहे मैं पैदल चलता हूँ, चाहे मैं 2 व्हीलर में चलता हूँ. मोस्टली मैं 2 व्हीलर पे होता हूँ. आप बोलेंगे आप 2 व्हीलर के ऊपर 4 आदमियों को कैसे लेके चले जाते हो हॉस्पिटल? मैं गाड़ी अपनी 2 व्हीलर 3-3, 4-4 घंटे के लिए लवारस खड़ी कर देता हूँ उसी जगह पे, उसके ऊपर कोई स्टिकर नहीं लगा हुआ. उसके बाद मैं गाड़ी रोकता हूँ, किसी की रिक्वेस्ट करके उसको हॉस्पिटल पहुँचाता हूँ. उसकी MLC होती है, ब्रॉड बाई लिखा जाता है, उसके पास ज्वेलरी होती है, लेडीज़ के पास, जेंट्स होता है, उसके पास पर्स में पैसा होता है, उसकी चप्पलें, उसको हॉस्पिटल में सामान जमा कराना, और उसके बाद उसको एक्सरा कराना, उसका और कोई जितना भी वो होता है दवाई वगैरह लाकर देनी, और उसके घर मैसेज पहुंचाना. तो मेरे कम से कम 3-4 घंटे लग जाते हैं.
फिर भी किसी ने भी आपको थैंक यू नहीं बोला अभी तक? उस
वक्त कोई रिलेटिव वगैरह आते हैं, मगर वो थैंक यू कर देते हैं. मगर उसके बाद मेरे को जिंदगी में किसी ने ये नहीं कहा कि आप कहाँ पे हैं और कैसे हैं अंकल जी.